how well, honestly, hand to heart, are you instructing your agents? Step 5 is to instruct your agents. So what about management of these agents? What about broker management, as we call it? I would argue you need that for a smooth CDS integration. There are at least 6 elements that you need to do in order to ensure you are ready for CDS, even or especially when you outsource the customs clearance activities to a third party. Step 1, data. Data is so important. The data you put in must be complete, accurate, and timely. If you have concerns about that, talk to me. Second, documents. Do you have the invoices, packing list, licenses, everything you need? Not sure? Talk to me. 3, well, what kind of instructions are you going to issue? Do you have SOPs in place? What do you mean you don't know what SOPs are? Oh dear, really not. What about KPIs? Have you set KPIs with your agent? No, you can't eat KPIs, no. If you don't know what KPIs are, you don't know what SOPs are, if you haven't set them or they're outdated, get in touch, we can sort this, but we've got to act quickly. 4, transparency. How often do you talk to your agent? How do you actually know what they're doing? Have you actually seen them make customs declaration? What systems do they use? How do they ensure data integrity? Conversations are so important. 5, communication. That's just what I've just said, right? Regular catch-ups, regular compliance, meetups to make sure that what they do is correct. And then 6, of course, the audit. Post-event, pre-event. This is in the UK known as MSS reporting. You need the MSS data, you need the transactional data, you need the customs declaration, and you need to match commercial invoice with the customs paperwork in order to make sure it's correct. And you need to audit that regularly, and you need to report on it. Only then, when you do these 6 steps, can you properly and genuinely instruct your agents, and your agents actually can perform compliantly, and you can be confident that they have done the job. Now, I think we have a bit of a way to go here, because agents also often forget, because of this direct representation status or agent status, that there is somebody on the hook for compliance. If this goes wrong, the declaration goes wrong, usually the agent is not to blame, because the agent only acts on behalf of the declarant. That usually is the importer or exporter. But if you hire an agent, you want to make sure, like your accountant, you want to make sure that what they actually declare is correct. So the compliance assurance is part of brokerage services to me. And therefore, you got to remember that you have a legal responsibility for your agent, for the declarations that your agent submits. But your clearing agent must also make sure it's correctly submitted. So when they say to you, we are ready, does that really mean we are ready? Or is it just lip service? You got to ask that question. You got to dig a little deeper. Or you can hear like, well, I will file the thing, but I will not engage in this audit business. Assisting you with the compliance control is outside the scope of our service unless you pay more. Now, that is not cool, because this should be a hand to glove. This should be a partnership. And compliance assurance is part of brokerage services. I won't go through all of this. You can pause this video and just revisit all of that. If you want a copy of the slides, please get in touch with me. I can furnish this to you. But overall, there are two things that you need to think about. Number one, if you want it to go well in CDS, you need to think about, first, you need to gain knowledge. You need to know what CDS is, what the changes are, how the boxes turn into data element, how to correlate and understand header and item information, how to deal with mandatory, optional, dependent data sets, data elements, and the likes of it, how to deal with error codes. All of that you've got to learn, because how else will you identify anything that your agent does as wrong? How else will you engage in a sensible conversation about CDS if you don't have a clue about these things? So you've got to get clued up. You've got to get training. We offer training almost every other day now in order to get companies ready. It is a 2-day training that is full of useful tips, information, guidance, help. We'll work through the HMRC manual on CDS. We'll look at the data element sets. We go through mock information, everything. You've got to gain knowledge, and only then can you take control. That's when you can lead the conversations on CDS. This is when you can ask for demos and actually understand what's going on. This is where you can visit your agents. This is where you can check the data. This is where you can join trade association, discuss error codes, run live testing, which is now recommended by HMRC in the summertime. You've got to go with the trader dress rehearsal. You've got to run these samples. So are you doing that? If not, it is about time. Hey, and as I told you, there is these 5 steps that you need to take, right? Didn't I? And you have completed them and you think you're ready. Like with Brexit, if you dig a little deeper, what you'll see is actually the instructions that you need to follow are here. Please look at that. And if you get lost, it means you got work to do, because you need to understand what all of this is all about. And instead of boxes, let's talk about data elements. Let's learn about these groups. We won't go into details. Let's learn how you need to complete them. For that matter, let's learn which of these fields are mandatory, which are optional, which depend on the circumstance. Let's learn about header information. Let's learn about item information, and let's learn how to complete this information in the right way. So you see, there is a lot to understand when it comes to CDS. But this is where I want you to get to: the current state versus the future state, you and CDS. At the moment, you might be in a situation where you actually can move goods, where you can supply goods to the UK despite Brexit, or to the EU for that matter. So you managed to find a way to buy and supply. Well done. You might be in this position where you can actually meet your obligations and pay HMRC the required duties and taxes. Well done again. You might be in a position where you have found a broker and the broker's filing for you. Well, that's good as well. Congratulations. But you don't really do anything with that. You get some information, you get some paperwork, you file it away. You're very reactive. Only when they ask you will you act. With CDS, I want you to think deeper, bigger. I want you to think, not only am I going to get ready for the software, I want to get ready for the future of customs declarations and global trade opportunities. And you do that by thinking about, well, how can I use this investment that I need to make in time and effort, in compliance, in learning, in maybe hiring additional staff to my advantage? How could I reach a future state whereby I can buy and supply in confidence, where I know, not I guess, where I know that I meet my customs declarations every time, where not only do I pay, but I only pay what's really strictly necessary, where I leverage all the cost savings opportunities that I have through free trade agreements. Why not turn reactive into proactive? And why not try to fix the challenges before they become genuine problems? So this is what I have to say about CDS. If you want more information on all of this, I have a lot of information on our expert blog. This is a wide range of information, updates, guidance, and you know that people that work with us, they get this stuff. They get the guides, they get the updates, they get our opinion, they get our support tools. You can even benefit from our training, our in-depth training, our 2-day training on CDS. So blog entries you can study, on-demand videos you can look at, training that we provide, loads to do. So we started this presentation off with how ready are you for CDS? And I introduced these 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 levels of readiness. Now that you've heard this, pick again. And tell me in the comments down below, what was your number? And has the number changed? Maybe you've gone up. Maybe you realize, actually, I know all this stuff. And actually, yep, I knew this website you were showing. I was reading all of this. I was talking to my broker. I am managing them proactively. Well, then move up. Go from 3 to 4 if you want. Or you say, well, actually, I thought I was a 3, but actually I'm a 2 now. So if that is the case, then please also let us know if you dare, if you want. I mean, the comments, you know, I would be happy to receive them. And don't hesitate. You know what? We're here to help. Many people are here to help, not just me, not just customs manager, by the way. So this is a big shift in the way we lodge customs declaration, and it can lead to a lot of great things if you do it right. And equally, it can delay you and it can get you into trouble with the law if you get it wrong. So we can't afford to get it wrong. We must get it right. So therefore, do reach out for support, because it is a little tricky and it's not always straightforward. Well, that, in fact, my dear friends, was the presentation. I hope you liked it. Please tell me in the comments down below what you thought of the presentation, if it was useful, if it was interesting. I'd like to hear from you in general. How's it going with the CDS presentation, about preparation? Are you ready for CDS now? Or what could we possibly do to give you more support? More importantly, what do you think the government should do to give you more support? My name is Arne Mielken of Customs Manager, and it was a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward talking to you again in the near future. Hey, final point. Tell me what videos you'd like to see. Put that in the comments down below. See ya.